Attitude should be felt, and you don't have to say a lot. Attitude and whatnot is seen in action. It's seen in how things are said. It's seen in how you approach life. That reveals an attitude. It's the way that you're flying. Like I said, attitude is an aviation term. It's how a plane is flying. And how are you flying in life? How are you walking in life? Are you all cockeyed that if you were to stop and land, you'd crash? Or are you flying straight? Are you doing it right? That's an attitude of victory. And so it's important when it comes to achieving an attitude of victory that you understand, what's at stake, that you understand what you get if you achieve your goals, that you understand what you lose if you stay where you are. I don't think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people complain about the circumstances they're in. I think a lot of people desire something more, but they'll stay forever complaining and forever desiring and never achieving or changing anything because their discomfort is still comfortable enough for them to settle. And so, they'll keep voicing their complaint, but they won't change anything. That's not an attitude of victory. Just saying that you want something better is not an attitude of victory. I'm not saying you have to have arrived, but you sure as hell should have left by now. If you've been on this planet for a number of years, you should have left by now. You should be well into it, fighting the battles, right? Fighting the resistance, overcoming yourself, overcoming obstacles and odds, anything that stands in your way to the thing that you desire and trying to achieve out of life. You've got one shot. You don't get multiple shots at this. You don't get to do this over. And the clock is ticking on the only life that you've got. So what are you going to do? What price are you willing to pay? Today is the day. Will you meet the rest of this day? After you finish watching this video, will you meet the rest of this day with different attitudes and a different form of action? Will you up your game? Even though you've been at that job for 20 years, will you change it today? Will you change the way you approach it? Will you change the way you behave? Change the way you talk to people? Change the way you think? Will you do it? Will you lose that weight? Are you going to keep worrying about, your clothes not fitting anymore, or people commenting on it, or whether you're going to get, sick or get pre-diabetic or, heart disease or anything else? Are you going to keep doing this, keep tolerating this, or does it change today? Right? Are you going to keep settling for where things are for you financially, forever in debt, never able to pay off your bills, right? Always a dollar behind? Are you going to keep living like that, or are you going to start to change that? Are you going to start to learn something new? You're going to start to learn how to make some extra money on the side. You're going to learn how to maybe move up the corporate ladder, get the raise you've always wanted. What are you willing to do to bring about change? Well, if you're not willing to bring about change, then you probably don't have an attitude of victory. You've got an attitude of defeat because you're willing to settle. You can't stay neutral. The more you stay neutral, the further back that you go because you're getting older. Younger people are going to come up behind you and take your job. Somebody else is going to take your spouse, or they'll just leave you because they're tired of living with somebody who's lost their ambition and passion. They married you because the way you used to be. You were passionate. You were full of fire. You knew what you wanted to do. Yeah, now you've kind of let life beat you down, right? You've let the bad things of life beat you down. They're always there to remind you. Maybe there's some people around you that remind you of who you used to be. They don't let you move forward. They want to stand in your way, keep you down by reminding you how you used to be. To hell with them. You be what you have the capacity to be. You don't need the judgment, approval, or well wishes of anybody else. You should have enough fire and positivity inside you, but something has to change in you. And that's my job. My job is to meddle in your life a little bit, right? Indirectly through this video. Just kind of poke my finger around and say, are you living what you could be living? Sure, you can direct your anger at me and say, shut the hell up, CJ. Fine, whatever. I'm not out here to make friends, man. I'm out here to change lives. And I care about you. You may not care about me. I care about you. I want to see you do well. I want to see you prevail. I want to see you overcome. I want to see you be better. That's why I'm out here doing it. You don't like it? Turn it off. But then you got to live with yourself. You got to deal with yourself. You're going to have the regret. You're going to have the guilty conscience. Now is your opportunity to change. Consider this a clarion call to your better self to rise to the occasion and do something different than you've been doing lately so we can bring about some different results. You keep doing what you're doing, man, you're going to get what you've always got. Something has to fundamentally change. The most important place for that to happen is our attitude, which is why we must believe in, work for, and acquire an attitude of victory. Can you dig it? I hope you can.